Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph or HBAR. If you guys like Hedera Hashgraph and understand that this is a big project, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. It won't hurt anything. It'll definitely actually support Hedera Hashgraph as I will continue to make videos on it. Thank you guys so much, like I said, for tuning in. Let's talk more about Hedera Hashgraph and that 30-cent price point that we're seeing now with a 21% decrease in the last week. A lot of people are kind of getting a little worried about Hedera. So what is going on? Why is this price continuing to really drop? Well, we did see a market crash, and we also see the market right now at that cap of $2.3 billion on HBAR. We see the volume in the last 24 hours at a low 370.4 million, and the circulating supply at that 7.9 billion HBAR. So there's a few articles we want to take a look at today to show you guys that this is going to bounce back. We see, obviously, in the last month, even a 14% decrease, not much happening. We did see it get all the way to about 45 cent mark. So because of that, we do see that there is massive potential to get back to that point. But if we take a look at the last year, you can see that we had a massive increase from about March 6th all the way from 14 cents to 45 cents. That anytime you see that, you're going to have some corrections. So we did have a correction down here to about 30 cents, and then we went back up to 39, correction again. Then we went to 40, correction again. So we're having higher highs, obviously, unfortunately, lower lows. So we don't know exactly how to take that. So you're having higher highs but lower lows. I mean, how do you really expect to understand what's going on there? Well, I'll tell you guys, this is going to be a coin that is going to kind of, I would say, rapidly increase in the next couple months. And I want to talk about a few things that will make this coin rapidly increase. In the price analysis on this one with the price chart itself is going to be a little more difficult because of this most recent market crash or market dip. Let's jump straight into like another article on Hedera Hashgraph's actual Twitter. So first we'll talk about what it's about. So Hedera is a decentralized public network on which developers can build secure and secure and fair applications with real-time finality. For network status, you can actually go to Hashgraph. If you guys haven't been to Hashgraph, I would definitely check them out. They basically give you status updates on Hedera Hashgraph altogether. But before we look into that anymore, let's take a look at the next thing we have in line. Hedera Hashgraph HBAR have 19 more governing councils to members, council members to be announced. The governing council joined the LLC, become part owners and decision makers for Hedera. Some of the biggest companies in the world are on the council running Hedera, who will be number 19. So these are some of the councils. Obviously, massive potential for number 19. We could see a very, very big company drop in and try to get a part of this. So we're hoping for a big announcement there. Obviously, that would move the price quite a bit. We go to our next article. We're going to see EFT POS reveals plans to power Australian smart cities with blockchain tech. So this was released April 20th. It looks like this article came out. We talked about the EFT POS revealed its plans to use distributed ledger technology to power smart cities and self-driving vehicles during the Australian Blockchain Week conference. So if you go down a little bit more, we're going to be looking at smart cities. We're going to be looking at autonomous vehicles and things that we haven't even thought about yet. All of this needs a new infrastructure, and EFT POS needs to be informed by that. So we're continuing to see them push for bigger and better things, obviously, with the EFT POS in Australian smart cities. If we go to the next one, we see building an NFT auction on Hedera Hashgraph. Obviously, a very, very big common thing to do right now with NFTs is to build an auction. You start auctioning at least NFTs on their crypto sites themselves. So we do see we'll be running an NFT auction demo for Hedera community in the next few months at hedera.auction. All code will be available on an open source. So let's go to hedera.auction. So you can actually see they're already working on it, and it's coming soon, very, very soon, hopefully, as we continue to see. That is probably going to price some, it's going to rise a little bit of the price as well. We're going to see a little bit of a price rise there. As we jump to another article, we're actually going to talk about Hedera.com first. We're going to talk about, what this really provides for us. What is Hedera Hedera Hashgraph. If we go back to the Coinbase here, the price chart itself, we can see in the last month, we saw a lot of movement recently, a lot of dips coming, and I want you guys to understand, if you see a vision, if you see that there's utility behind a token, unfortunately, it doesn't really matter where the price is currently. If you're buying in at a decent spot, if you're finding good entry points, it doesn't really matter where the current price is. We're going to continue to see rises above those good entry points, and we're going to continue to see that throughout the rest of the year. I think Hedera Hashgraph is one of those coins that's going to stick around. We're not going to see it just pump and dump. We're not going to see it just really just slowly decline off the edge. So let's go back to the website and take a look at what really it is. So the third generation public ledger. So they talk about first generation being Bitcoin, second generation being ETH, and third generation Hedera HBAR. I will say the first generation, second generation are doing very well. I could easily see the third generation doing just as well. So we go on a little bit farther down. I do want to say, guys, look at these stats as well. Transactions per second, you can see massive potential there. Average fee, transaction confirmation. Obviously, they're showing stats they're good at. However, it's very good. Very good stats for HBAR. As we go down, we see primary network services, including token service, consensus service, and you can learn more on those. But we're going to go to the network metrics. We see very good stats here yet again. Obviously, if you want to take a look more into detail on this, go to their website, hedera.com. Remember to always do your own research before investing, guys. You should always do your own research, specifically because there's so much volatility involved with cryptocurrencies, and I'll never be a financial advisor and give you financial advice, so you'll have to do your own research on some of this stuff. So fast, achieve fast, low latency transactions with guaranteed finality in seconds, not minutes or hours. You also have secure, deploy on a network with proven best-in-class ABFT security that resistant to DDoS and Sybil attacks. We also see fair, count on fair access timestamps and transaction ordering that cannot be manipulated by malicious nodes. And we have stable as well, so run on a reliable network. So we're seeing a lot of good potential behind, like I said, the HBAR itself. We've talked about what it really does. We know that there's a bunch of use cases. You can actually highlight that up here. If you go to the use cases, you can see payments, reduce cost and unlock revenue, healthcare, choose Hedera for healthcare, identity, maintain the life cycle of credentials, tokenize assets, manage and swap assets like never before, fraud mitigation, reduce costs and protect customers. And then we have the data compliance, log and publicly verify actions. Then we have obviously case studies and enterprise at the bottom, built on Hedera. So we're seeing a lot of different things, a lot of different use cases, a lot of different possibilities with Hedera coming in the very near future. And I will say we are looking still at a very good price point. If we see 3 different reds, we see a red in 24 hours, a red in the week, and a red in the month. So right now we are seeing a low 29-cent Hedera, which is something you won't see coming into May. I think we are going to continue to rise at the end of April, starting with the beginning of May. We're going to see good, really healthy price rise. We see that obviously we're kind of due. We're at the very bottom of the barrel. Speaking terms, we should actually see an increase of at least 5 to 6 cents here if we're going to follow our patterns. But we'll see what happens. I think we could even break out farther than that and see a new all-time high coming into early May or late April. So let's talk about our price predictions for April, May, and 2021. We always do price predictions, and I'll try to keep them as realistic, conservative as possible, because that is kind of what we do here. So Hedera, I could see making its way close to that 45-cent mark by the end of April. I do not think that's probable, though. I do think we're going to be right around 35 to 40 cents. I think we're going to maybe make that all-time high push in early May. By the way, the early May is going to be a very good month for us. I think we're going to have a lot of new information coming for Hedera, and obviously after this big red decrease, if we're not pumped back up to about 35 to 40 cents by the beginning of May, I'll be very surprised, and by the end of May we will see a very good rise. I think by the end of May we could definitely see Hedera Hashgraph pushing closer to about a 50-cent price point. Obviously that would be a new all-time high, and I think that's realistic to see a new all-time high by the end of May for sure. I think right around 50 to 55 cents all-time high, about that 55 cents, and a stabilization around 50 to 52 cents is reasonable. Going into the end of 2021, we will continue to see those increases. By the end of 2021, we could easily see a $1 Hedera Hashgraph. I think we could see about $1.25 as an all-time high, and about a stabilization around $1.20. I think that's definitely a reasonable spot for it. Do remember that's about a 4x at least, and I also want to say it has potential for much more, but I'm trying to stay as realistic and conservative as possible, as this is only a market cap of $2.3 billion. So you are still getting into this project fairly early. You're going to be able to see a lot of profit if this thing does take off. And I think Hedera definitely has what it takes to take off. We'll have to see if the team actually, comes through with a lot of this different things that they've promised. If they do, I think this is going to be a great project to hold long term. So we'll continue to monitor Hedera Hashgraph. If you guys like Hedera Hashgraph, make sure to like the video. Like I said, it really does support my ideas going into what I should continue to cover, and it really does help with that. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and I will see everyone in the next video.